The 홍콩H index, Hang China Enterprise Index, is falling every day. Entering the new year, the Hong Kong stock market is recording the lowest rate of return in the world. In particular, the 홍콩H index was the only index to record a double-digit decline. Moreover, the Chinese and the Hong Kong stock market falls further in the aftermath of the policy interest rates freeze on January 22nd. The People's Bank of China, China's central bank, announced on January 22nd that it would freeze the loan proliferation rate, LPR, for 5 consecutive months. Investment sentiment weakened as the central bank showed a passive attitude toward easing despite concerns about deflation. Hopes that the H index, which had been on downward slope since January 2023, would rebound in 2024 were dashed. The trend is to break through even the low point of October 2022 for 1,919.03 losses are expected to be inevitable for investors in acquiring securities ELS that use 홍콩H index as an underlying asset. The situation of the 홍콩H index's underlying equity-linked securities, ELS, which recently expired, is worsening. This year alone, a principal loss of 230 billion won has already been confirmed in the 홍콩H index, ELS, sold by the 5 major commercial banks. ELS is linked to the index, used as the underlying asset, and the investment return is determined. Typically, the price of the underlying asset is evaluated every 6 months to provide an opportunity for early repayment, and if the price of the underlying asset falls below a certain standard of maturity, a loss of principal occurs equal to the price decline rate. The problem is that the amount of loss is likely to increase further in the future. The expirations of products sold in 2021, when the 홍콩H index was at its highest point, are coming back one after another from this year. As of November 15, 2023, the total sales balance of ELS underlying the 홍콩H index was 19.3 trillion won, of which 15.9 trillion won as sold by banks. 15.4 trillion won, or 79.6% of the total balance, will mature this year, considering the ELS products structured the 홍콩H index in the first half of this year must be at 65 to 70% of the level in the first half of 2021 to avoid principal loss. The extent of ELS losses using the Hong Kong H index as the underlying asset is also expected to increase. In January 2021, when a large number of ELS linked to the Hong Kong H index were issued, the index average was 11,000. Currently, the index is in the 5,000 range, which is less than half of the total. Since 2021, the market capitalization of Chinese and Hong Kong stock has evaporated by about $6.3 trillion, about 8,440 trillion won. Markets are becoming much more negative about China's economic situation and believe a large-scale fiscal response is needed.